Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. I wasn't organized here. I was trying to get some paperwork out to show. All right, today is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and I want to welcome you here today. Be sure that you like and share the video when you come on. And also on YouTube, if you're watching it there, be sure you hit that subscribe button and that little bell, and you'll be notified when I go live. So let me introduce myself. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Arkansas. And I guess that's about all I need to talk about. I'm not organized this morning at all. Okay, let's see what we got to do here. We're going to bring up my screen, and we're going to show you the paper pumpkin kit that's available right now until November 10th. Oh, wait, no, this is the wrong one. This is October. Scratch that. It's the wrong one. Can I print out? There's that. Where's the flyer? Did I not do the flyer? All right, let me see if I can find it real quick. Maybe that one. Nope, that's an old one too. Well, I'm not having any luck here. Okay, it's a cozy Christmas one. I apologize for not being organized this morning. I guess I was a little slow getting ready today. And I can't get that to scroll. Oh, well, let's forget that. Okay, the paper pumpkin for this month is going to be called Cozy Christmas. I can put that down on my desktop. Maybe you can see that. Okay. Hold on a second. Camera. Okay, maybe you can see it okay. It's kind of blurry, but we'll struggle through it. Okay, like I said, October's paper pumpkin kit is called Cozy Christmas, and you have until October 10th to sign up for this one. It says that you can create heartfelt Christmas cards with classic charm and flocked accents. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with coordinating envelopes. Pre-cut paper pieces with soft stitch look. I can't spit it out this morning. Pre-cut paper pieces with soft stitch-like blocking. Shiny red sequins and embellishments, and the Stampin' spot that you get with this is going to be real red, so that spells Christmas. And also the box is really pretty. I don't know, it's not showing it very well. Can I lift it up here? It's a little blurry, but you get the gist of it. All right, and then along with that, you can also get the dies that coordinate with October, November, and December. And it's called Abundant Joy dies. And those are item number 167855. But you have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. So you could sign up for this month's coming up and add the dies on along with that. So got quite a few dies there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different dies. So that's pretty good, and it's only $12. Okay. We talked about that. All right, next we have World Card Making Day. And this happens on October, what is the date? Okay, it's October 4th, 2025 from 2 until 3 o'clock p.m. and that's Mountain Time. So you'll have to convert that to your area. And the registration for this event is free. So it's just a good chance to have an excuse to scrapbook or card make or whichever your passion is with paper products. Just craft with us for free on September 4th. That's my daughter's birthday. And they'll send you a link that goes with that so you'll be able to be on there. Lots of fun ideas are in the works with this. All right. And then I guess that's all we have there. All right. I feel like I'm forgetting something and I don't know what it is. Probably my head. It's a Monday morning. Okay. You can shop any of the products that we have here today that we're showing and any other paper products you might be needing. Just go to my store, which is www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. Or you can email me at my email address, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. And like I said, I'm Creating Cards with Debbie is the name of my page. Okay. All right, let me bring up my comments. And we shall get started. We're going to be doing some watercoloring today, so that might run a little bit longer than normal. But things over here. I should have cleaned my desk off before I started. All right. So like I said, we're going to be using the 3D embossing folder, the Sunflower 3D. It was not available for a while, but I think it's back on again. So you'll be able to go into my store and order one if you'd like. But lots of good ideas of using this. We're going to do some watercoloring with it today. And hope this is the right size. Here, let me see. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I think that's what I had in my directions. Yep. Watercolor paper. 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. But I'm jumping the gun here. I want to get back to my pieces here that we're going to be using. Our card base is going to be, oh, I didn't even show you the one that we're doing today. Let me find that again. Oops, I dropped something. Don't know what that was. So this is a card we're going to be making. I dropped something already. Okay. All right, wait. The 3D embossing folder, the Sunflower 3D. And this is our card. Miss you bunches. And then on the inside, can't wait to see you again soon. And I also added a strip of the embossed and colored cardstock there at the bottom. So let's get started. Our card base is going to be crumb cake. And it measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. And then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and burnish that fold line. Okay, so I've got our card base here. I'm just trying to see which side I want to use. I guess that side. And then we've got a early espresso, which measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. That's going to be our mat that goes on the front of our card. And then next, we've got our embossed sunflowers on our watercolor paper. But we're not going to use the embossed side. We're going to use the debossed side, which is where they're dented in kind of. So let's go ahead and start with our coloring here. Got my pen. I should have grabbed some paper towels. I don't have any in here. Do I have a napkin? I've got a napkin here. That'll work. All right. Get my ink pads out here. Okay, we're going to start out with our lemon lolly. There it is, lemon lolly. And I'm going to use one of my acrylic blocks to pick up my ink so I can do that for watercoloring, water brush. So I'm just going to dip it into the ink pad. This is lemon lolly. All right, we'll set that there. We'll close up this. Bring over our aqua painters. And I'm going to squirt some water onto our block. Trying to do it so you can see. I don't know, maybe about 6 drops of water and mix it up. I think I'm going to put another paper underneath me so I keep my work surface clean. Arrange a little bit. There we go. Get comfortable. I'm going to use a lemon lolly for my petals of my flowers. So I'm just doing it on the inside of the flowers. It's embossed. Can you see that? It's real light. Try to do this fairly fast so you don't have to sit and watch me paint. Who likes to watercolor? I think it's relaxing. And you never get the same image twice in a row. Each time it's different. Well, I guess today's the first day of fall. You can turn it over to make sure you're still in the petals yet. It is quiet this morning. Usually my husband's riding the lawnmower, so that's usually some background noise that I have, but he's not on it yet. But the day is still early. Okay, is that, I got that right. I've got another flower over here. I'm going to be using 3 different ink pads for my flowers. I feel like I forgot to talk about something this morning, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. That's not been too important. All right, do we have any more flowers? Maybe down here, a little color in there. And we miss these up here. And the corner of a flower right there. Same with over here. Okay, so you can kind of see it's a light yellow. I'm going to clean my brush. I'm doing is squeezing the water out of it to rinse off the tip. And then I've got a dish of water over here too, so wipe that off. Wipe that off. And then our next color is going to be crushed curry. And we're going to do the center of the flowers with that one. So, pick it up with my block again. Okay. And we'll drip some water onto that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with 6. 6 drops of water and mix it up. Now we're going to color the centers of those flowers. Okay, there's one down, one to go. Oh, I forgot a leaf right there. Okay. Okay, I guess we only have 2 that have centers. And again, I'll clean my brush out. And clean the block off. I think I'm going to grab a clean block. Set this over here and I'll clean it later. And now we've got a lemon lime twist for the greenery of it, the stems and leaves. And drip some water again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, one more. And we'll mix that up. And come in here and color the stems of the flowers. Look at something. I missed a spot there too. Guess that happens when you're in a hurry. And I still got to come back with the yellow. I've got some here I missed. I hope this isn't too boring watching me do this. I thought about having it done ahead of time, but I didn't prepare for it. And right there. I've got a leaf right here. Make sure I'm staying in camera view here. The more water you put on your ink, the lighter color it's going to be. So depending on how dark you want it, just can add more water or just leave it as is. Okay, there's another leaf over here. And that might be a tip of a leaf, maybe. Oh, we got one down here at the bottom we forgot. Okay. Rinse that out. I need to bring my yellow back over here and touch up those flower petals that I missed. And see if I can't squeeze that down in there. Yeah, not really. All right, where did I miss? Right here. And it seems like I missed somebody else. Okay, I didn't do these down here. I guess I did. There's real light colored. All right, I think I've got everything. And when you're done with your blocks, all you do is just rinse them off with warm water and they come clean. All right, now to go over that, I'm going to dry this a little bit with my heat gun. If I can reach it over here. Just to speed up the process of drying. Put my laptop in here. Obviously, it's low. I just flipped here. I had some juice in there. Glass and I spilled it all over. Hold on a second. I've got to grab a couple. Something. It is a Monday. Got the phone right in it. I knew I shouldn't have had that glass on my desk. This is what not to do. All right, we'll let that soak that up. I'll wash it later. I'll have ants all over. Goodness. All righty. Now what was I doing? Oh, I was going to be trying this. This is real live, people. I'm just going to dry this to speed up the dry process. You could just set it aside and let it dry for a couple hours if you wanted to and didn't have to use the heat gun. But we're kind of in a hurry, so we're going to speed it up a little bit. All right, I think that's probably good. And now we've got our smoky slate to cover up the background here. I'm just going to slide my pad across it gently because you don't want to tear up the ink pad. You can go as dark or as light as you want. I think we're going to leave it right there. It looks good. Like I said, this was smoky slate. All right, now we can bring our mat back over here and we're going to attach this to our early espresso mat. I'm just making sure I cut it right. Is that 4 inches? It's a little bit more than 4 inches. I cut off a sliver of this. 4 inches right there. tiny sliver. And I think it's 5 1/4. Let's make sure. Yep. Right on the money. All right, let me get this out of there. And we're going to attach this to our early espresso mat using my Tombow glue. You want to put up against the edges so it stays down. When you've got an embossed layer, it's thicker. And this is watercolor paper too, so that makes it even thicker than a regular cardstock. So you want to make sure that it's going to stay in place and not lift up on you. All right. I'm going to center that onto our early espresso. You might want to hold it down, make sure it's adhering everywhere that it's supposed to. And I think I'm just going to set a block on top of that for now to hold it. And we'll get on with the sentiment instead. Inside. Okay. I'm trying to find a small strip of my crumb cake here. That's basic beige. That's not what I want. I have little strips that I put into a glass here to hold. And then all I got to do is grab them when I need a skinny one for sentiment. No, that's basic beige. I must have a crumb cake in here somewhere, you would think. But I'm not gonna look right now. We'll find something in my stash over here. Crumb cake. Just need a tiny little strip. Which are those two? Where's my other one? If I can fit my sentiment onto there. We're going to heat emboss that with black embossing powder. So let me bring my supplies over here. Got our Versamark, our black Stampin' Buddy, and I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers to hold on to it. Lay this down to catch our powder. And we're going to stamp Miss You bunches. Is that going to fit on there? I don't know, it might be pretty narrow. Let me see if I can just cut off a little sliver. I'm not prepared today. It's got to be a Monday. Yeah, let's just cut a piece off of this. I think probably 1/4 of an inch. Yeah. There we go. All right, so there's our crumb cake cardstock, and I'm going to put some embossing powder on there, or my Simply Chamois. No, I am bad with words today. It's got to be a Monday. I can't talk. I can't be organized. It's one of those days. All right, I'm going to use my Versamark ink pad, and I'm just going to ink up my Miss You bunches stamp. And hopefully I don't have my head in the camera. All right, Miss You bunches. Put the lid on the Versamark. Make sure I don't have any powder sitting on there. another coat of that on there. I want to make sure I've got enough embossing powder on there. And just pour that back in there. It doesn't look that good. I'm going to dump it on there again. Third time's a charm, hopefully. It's not. It's being stubborn. I think that's good. Miss you bunches. Bring my feet down over here. The lid on the embossing powder. Don't need that flying all over. And I'm going to hold this with my tweezers. And I never did plug in my laptop, so if I do that. There, you're plugged in. I don't want to lose y'all. Okay, so we're going to emboss this black embossing powder. And that doesn't look that good. I think I might have smeared it when I stamped it. I had another one, but I can't find that. Here it is. Okay, this one looks better. We're going to use my sample one. Okay, so miss you bunches. That should be held on there good enough now. Now we can add that to the front of our card. And grab my glue. Our video might be a little longer today. I'm taking a while on this card. We're almost done with it. All right. And we're going to put our Miss You Bunches sentiment right there, but I'm going to get my linen thread, and I want that to be out underneath that sentiment. So I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers here a few times. And then we'll just pinch it in the middle. And a mini glue dots. And take your pick tool. And make sure I'm opening the right direction. So we're going to lay this right about, no, I'm going to put it right here. It's going to cover some of our flower, but not all of it. My loopy-loos are a little long, but that's okay. And then we're going to use some mini dimensionals. I think I might have some here. Or not. Well, I'm just going to cut these down. And another one. My fingers aren't working today. My tongue's not working. I can't talk. I can't do anything with this stuff. All right, I'm going to put 2 skinny ones at each end. Okay, Miss You Bunches. It's going to go right over that ribbon, linen thread. And I think I'm going to put it off to the right side a little bit more. Oh, it's really got some loopy-loos in there. I think maybe I can tap it down. Yeah. Well, I don't like that. I've got to fix that. Not happy with that. Let's make a smaller hoops. And I lost my glue dot. And it's right here. The glue dot doesn't want to let go. Wants to hang on to me for a while. All right, I think that's a little better. Now we can put those back down. And I'm going to add some glue to the back of my dimensionals so they're not quite as sticky as they were at the beginning. Okay. Much better. Okay, Miss You Bunches. And then we're going to add some gems to this, which is going to be the low profile sparkle dots. And I'm going to use the yellow. And I'll go with the medium size. Now, there we go. And maybe one there. One over here. And another one can go maybe right there on the petal. All right, so here's our card front. Very pretty. And then on the inside, I've got a basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I've got a strip. These are going to be different color, but that's okay. This is from one of my previous cards that I did. It's a little dark, but it'll do. Okay, so this is probably a 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Well, no, it's not quite 4 inches. We're probably, yeah, it is 4. Maybe this is too big. That might be a little bigger. A little too wide on this one, so let's cut that down. That thin little strip. And make sure that our length is right. 5 1/4. No, this might have been a scratch paper for something. All right, and we're going to attach this to that bottom with our Tombow glue again, and being generous with it. Put that around the lower bottom. And then we're going to stamp Can't Wait to See You Again, or See You Again Soon. And I'm going to use my black Memento ink. And instead of stamping it up here in the middle, I'm going to stamp it at the bottom. right above that watercolor paper. It's a little bit crooked, but we're going to go with it. And we'll put that inside of our card and call it finished. It was cloudy this morning, but now the sun's coming out. Thought we were going to get some rain. Sure looked like it this morning. All right, and it goes in there. Okay, so miss you bunches. Can't wait to see you again soon. So that's our first card. It took a little longer than I usually do, but we got through it. Hope everybody didn't get bored with me. Here's some samples of some other ones that I did. With that one, I think I used the early espresso as our background, where I went over the top of everybody. Where this one was the smoky slate that I used. All right, let's clear this off a little bit and get on to our second card. And put this away. Oops, I don't go in there. All right, I can move this out of our way for now. And our next one's going to be a Halloween card. Spooky. I'll have bits and pieces out here. We've got some small pieces. I don't want to lose them. All right, everything's out of the package. I'm going to set those over here. Okay, our card base is going to be Petunia Pop. And this is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. Let's get back to showing you the card here. Spooky. Happy Halloween on the inside. And this comes from the paper. Which is called Spooky Sweet 12 by 12 specialty paper. And we're using one of these images here. They just use the sheet, and I've cut it down to size. I guess it was these smaller ones that I used. And then some of the punch outs along with that. All right, so let's burnish our card here, our fold. And we'll set that aside for a moment. And then we've got our basic black, which is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then we've got our little house that we cut out. And this one measures 3 1/8 inches by 3 3/4 inches. That's going to go in the middle of that black layer. And we've got some strips here that are out. That's another one of those papers, but I'm using the orange side. That's going to go on each side of our house. So let me put the ones on the sides first. Bring that Tombow over here again. I kind of got this idea from Lisa Freeman. I'm not sure if you watched her videos before. I changed it up a little bit, but the design was pretty much hers. And that one will go in the middle, but this goes on the right side. of the house. And I'm going to just leave that there so I can keep a straight line going here. And is that even with the other one? I think it's good. All right, now we'll glue down our centerpiece. From the center and lining up our papers with each other. I'm going to leave just a small space in between each one. And now I put that onto our card front. And we're going to leave a small border going around. So far. And we're going to set that aside for a moment. And we're going to do some heat embossing. So I've got a little strip of that background paper, the back side. And this measures about 1 and, let's see. I think it's about 1 inch. No, it's 1 7/8 inches by 7/8. And we're going to heat emboss on that. So let's bring our things out here again. Our embossing buddy. And did I put this on the inside? Yeah, I'm going to use this one on the inside. So we're going to emboss both of those. Tap, tap, tap. And knock some of the powder off. Oopsie. And I'm going to go with Spooky and Happy Halloween. Did I not put that one out? I didn't. Why didn't I put that out? I thought I did. Nope, I didn't. It's right here. Grab a block. I need to wash my stamps. All right. First a mark. So we're going to put Spooky on the small DSP. And Happy Halloween on this one. These are in that pack of paper too. There's different things that you can use. Die cuts. All right. Press that down on there. Put the lid on our Versamark. And bring our embossing powder back over here, which is right here. And I'm definitely going to use the tweezers on this. I'll be burning my fingers if not. Okay. Put this back in our jar. Put on that so it doesn't blow all over. Bring our gun over here. Warm in the fingers. Okay. Those ready to go. Get rid of the paper again. Embossing powder. I need one of those little vacuums for my desk. All right, so we're going to fussy cut the spooky out of the DSP, and just going to go around, go around the letters. Okay, there's our spooky. Now we're going to put that up on dimensionals. Where did I put those two that I had here? I don't know, they've disappeared on me. I'm going to grab some more. Oh, here they are. That might be enough. I'll use up the last of the sheet. And one more. All right, now spooky's going to go right up here on the roof of the house. And this is for the inside, so I'm not going to do that yet. Got some more bits and pieces here. So I made a bow using the online exclusive, the Petunia Pop. And then I made a double bow, and then I added some linen thread and tied them together. As I was making the bow, I can just put them on top of each other. I already made that. So that's going to go up here on the top of the door with the mini glue dot. And stick that right on there, and then we'll pick it off with our take your pick tool, which was here. Now looking right at it. Yeah, there it is. It was hiding. And we'll place that right above the door. And now we're going to add some bats. I think I might be missing one. It flew over here. Gotcha. We're going to put one over here and two on this side of the panel. So let's put some glue on the back of those, or you could use mini glue dots, whichever you prefer. I got heavy on the glue. And right about there. This one will go on the other side. All right, and then we've got our gems. This is an online exclusive also. These are called the Shimmer Star Foam Stickers. So we're going to get some of those. We're going to use the black and the Petunia Pop colors. And we'll put one there, another one right above. And then we're going to do black on the other side. So one above the bat and one underneath the bat. All right, and the inside, I'm debating, do I want to put that there or do I want to put a white layer inside? Do you think it needs a white layer? I might just leave it like that. I don't know. Let me see what the white looks like under there. If I can find my stuff here. I've got a total mess. It's been that long since I've seen it. Where did it go? Oh well, we're just going to, I'll use this as a sample. Well, I don't know. Either way. Let's put a white layer on the inside. Just follow like I usually do. No use changing it now. And this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. All right, we'll lay that down inside of our card. And then we'll attach this to the center of the white layer. Don't put it upside down. Set straight and make it straight. All right, so here's our Halloween card. Spooky. Happy Halloween. So that's our second card. I need to put these somewhere where I'm not going to lose them. All right, and our next one is going to be a fun fold using our Designer Series paper. Straighten up my desk just a little bit here, make some room. Oh, that was supposed to have gone on the inside of our card. I forgot that. Bring it back here. Okay, this punch out was supposed to go in the inside, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there first before we move on to the next card. I didn't see him sitting there. Okay, just a little something, something. All right, so here's our fun fold card. This is using our Designer Series paper. And then on the inside, it's got a little flap there. I didn't put my bow on there yet. I think I'm go with it or without it. I'm not sure. So I kind of left it off until I decide what to do with this strip here. Or if you have any suggestions, I'm open to any ideas that you might have. But this is a sympathy card. We don't like to have to use those, but we need to have them on hand when we do need them because it's a lot easier than doing them as the time comes. All right, it says with deepest sympathy. This opens, shows a nice scenery inside. And then on the inside, it says sending heartfelt prayers. All right, let's get started on that. I'm going to be using the stamp set that is Peace on Earth. We're going to be using with deepest sympathy and heartfelt prayers are sentiments that we're using out of there. And our paper is called Beautiful Gallery 6x6 Designer Series paper. It has 12 designs, 4 each, and a total of 48 total. So let me just kind of show you these. This is, no. A lot of these you just add a sentiment to it and you've got a card front already. And this is pretty too. But this is the one that we're using today. And that's the back side. This is pretty too. And that's kind of pretty too, just the trees. Here's with some boats, a harbor, more flowers, and that looks like a road map. And then the little cottage in the country, and it's the back side. So those are the papers we're using. Let me get our supplies out here. Make sure I don't leave nothing behind in there. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then it's scored at 4 1/4 inches. This is our basic beige cardstock that I'm using for the card base. Let's burnish that gold button. And we're going to go portrait side on this. And then we've got our basic black, which is 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And then we've got our designer series paper. This is a 6 by 6 sheet, but we're going to cut it down to 6 by 5 1/4 inches. So I'm going to bring my paper trimmer up here. And get my pieces off of there. And we're going to decide how we want to do this. I'm going to cut it off this way. So that would be 5 1/4 inches. Is that right? Let me measure here to make sure. Yeah, it's 5 1/4 inches tall and 6 inches wide. So 5 1/4 is right here. We're going to slice off that top portion and save this because we're going to be using that also. And 5 6. There we go. And then we're going to score that at 4 inches. So right there. And then we're going to fold that onto itself. Use that bone folder again. Burnish that. So it's going to be like this. Now that's going to go onto our black mat. Gosh, it's quiet today. I'm going to turn that sideways so I can get it lined up right. We're going to keep a small black border going around it. Okay, so you don't want to glue this piece down. You want that to be able to open and look at the picture. So we're going to put that onto our card base. Too much glue there. Turn our card around and put that down on the front of our card. Press that in. And now this little strip we're going to put on the front of that. So let me see, I don't need that long of a piece. Hold my finger right about there. Not get glue at that tip so I don't get it all over my scissors. I'm going to open this and lay it down. Center it. That's pretty good. I lined up right. Let me see. We'll use our grid paper to check this out. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Now we can turn that over and snip that off. Okay. Now we can stamp our sentiment. I guess we should have done that before we started putting this together. With deepest sympathy. And I'm going to be using our black Memento ink pad. And we're going to stamp that right up here in the upper left-hand corner. And then we'll stamp the inside. I didn't put a layer in here. I'm just going to stamp it directly onto the card. And I think I put something on there. Okay, heartfelt prayers. All right. I think this one I am going to use that bow. It needs something. I could put gems on there, but I'm not sure I'd get them straight. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the bow on there. And let me find my mini glue dots over here, the smaller ones. Use them. Take your pick tool, and the pointy end, and I'm going to place it right about here. And roll that into a little log. I'm going to angle it just a tiny bit. And I'll snip off those tails. That one's longer. Okay. It still needs something. I don't know what. Let me bring my gems over here, my embellishments, and see if I can find anything that would look right on there. That would. Maybe I'll use these petal pink ones. These are from the low profile dots. Putty in back here. And I'll go with the medium size. One there. Maybe another one right about there. And we need a third one. Maybe right there. Gives it a little bit of something. Okay, with deepest sympathy, this opens and shows the whole picture. It folds back, and then we open the card itself to heartfelt prayers. All right, so tidy up a little bit here, and we'll close out our program. We didn't go too far over. No, we're pretty much on time. I thought it was going to be a little longer today, but I don't think I did. I usually run an hour and a half. We're not quite there yet. All right, get things out of the way here. Well, I'm running out of room. All right, that one, this one, and this one. So here's our cards today. And scooch those over. All right. I had some other samples of those, that same as this one. This one says, friends are flowers in the garden of life. And that's using that sheet of paper. And on the inside, you make my heart smile. I added a little strip on the inside also. And here's one using that little cottage. Have a blessed day. Just some ideas. And on the inside, I used wishing you all the best. And here's another sympathy card using the, which color is this? Calypso Coral, I believe. And last one is this one. You've been on my mind. I didn't put anything on here either. You could put a ribbon across that maybe. I don't know. I have to play with it a little bit more. And then the inside, I haven't done the inside yet. So that's our cards for today. I want to thank you for being here. Be sure you like and share the video. And if you're watching me on YouTube later, be sure that you hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you'll be notified when I go live. So until next week, y'all have a good rest of the week. And something you might want to think about, I forgot to mention this, is Stampin' Up! Is kind of gave us a sneak peek, a hint of something that's going to happen in October, which is going to be a new special on the starter kit. So I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with that. So you might want to think about joining my team, getting your starter kit, and getting a discount on all your future products. And we have lots of fun. And if you want to run a business, we'll show you how to do that. But if you want to do it just as a hobbyist, you can earn your discount on each of your orders. It starts out at 20% off. So that's a bargain in itself. And you don't have to do what I do, and you can cancel at any time. So no pressure. So something to think about. All right. So let's call it a day, and have that one upside down. I just noticed that. Said, that doesn't look right. The bow's at the bottom, not at the top. I had to turn that around. All right. So until next week, which will be September 29th, Monday, 2025, at 10 o'clock Central Time. Y'all have a good rest of your week. And I think I've kind of got some things planned out with our new stamp set, which is the, what is it called? Let me grab that. It's in our new mini catalog. And it's the Amber Autumn with the stamp set and the dies. So I think I'm going to be using that next week. So being today's the first day of fall, I need to get busy. And I love the sentiments in it. Blessed to have you in my life. Autumn wishes. Grateful for you. Thanks. And you're simply the best. Plus the pumpkins and the acorns. So that's a little sneak peek of next week's class. So stay tuned and hope you're able to join me then. If not, watch the replay. I appreciate that too. And hit the like button and the share. So until next week, September 29th, we'll see you then. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.